I got you on this one, Coach. It ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. The fanatic. But we keep it 100, keep it real. That's the only way we know how to be. Talking that sports talk. You know what I'm saying? Straight out of South Carolina, upstate, A64. Yeah, the FANATTIC, the fanatic where we keep it OG. We talking sports, so I call what I see. I love the fans like they part of my team. I love the fans like they part of my team. Come rock with me, we got it jumping like it's that valley. I call my dogs out the pound, let's go eat. Turn on the fanatic, let's have a debate. Who really hold down the southeast from state to state? What team hungry gon' eat everything up off they plate? Who the next one that's really gon' step up and be great? Yeah, the FANATTIC, the fanatic where we keep it OG. We talking sports, so I call what I see. I love the fans like they part of my team. Yeah, part of my team. I love the fans like they part of my team. Yeah, part of my team. I love the fans like they part of my team. Yeah.
Welcome into the Fan Addict Sports Channel for sports fans by sports fans. It's your man, Coach I, man. Hey, we back in here, man. Week 2 college football, fresh off a beat down of the Ducks. Tailgate Kings is our sponsor. Let's go ahead and get that ad spot rolling. All right, man, we in here for another episode of Inside the Locker Room, man, presented by the Tailgate Kings, man. Without further ado, we're going to go ahead and bring our guys on up in here, man. You already know who always first up the bat because he bringing that energy, former DB at the University of Georgia, Erik Robinson, E-Rob. What's going on, E-Rob?
Coach, what's up, baby?
What up?
Them dogs took care of business, man. You smell that? That's some duck getting cooked out here, baby. The dogs played 4 quarters of championship football. That's what I came to see, and that's what I got. Now check this out. Now, if I was producing the show, this is why I would put on like the sad music in the background. Because now I want to talk about on a personal note. If you did watch the show last week, you know that I was training and running and doing bear crawls because I want to be a tailgate All-American.
Facts.
I'm happy to report the first half. I was that. I was this hand right here with the adult beverage, efficient, wasn't missing anything, no drops, nothing. Right here with the chicken, it was beautiful. It was just how I've been training. Something happened at halftime. I found myself halfway through the third quarter, and all my co-hosts could attest. Coach, I ain't make it, baby. I had an ice pack on my neck, man. I'm laid out, man. I couldn't even make it, man. So I made it to halfway through the third quarter. Here's the thing, Dog Nation. I will be better. I'm gonna keep training. I will be an All-American by the end of the season. That is a promise I make to you. Chopping wood, baby. Let's go.
Yo, keep on chopping. Speaking of tailgate, man, let's bring my guy here, Tailgate Keys CEO. We talking about former tight end Jevaris Johnson. What's good, JV?
Hey, man. Once again, E-Rob, hilariously, can y'all hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hilariously, you done laid it out. Hey, I'm telling you what, I actually didn't see you fade toward halftime, so hey, listen, man, we had a great time this weekend. We appreciate everybody who came out to the Kingdom. Thank you, everybody who came out to the Kingdom. We want to look at the fact that we did come to that game and they performed for the Dogs. They laid it out. They did not come off that bus, and they did not have any slack in their game whatsoever, man. I was so proud to be a Georgia Bulldog, even with the ice pack on E's neck. Let me let y'all know something. He is committed to being better.
I'm going to get better.
He is committed to being better, and we going to get it.
right, man.
Hey,
now
see
for
that
the
gold G behind
Drop
me?
the camera.
Hey, yeah, we see it. It look fresh. All right, next up on the panel, man, it's the
Hey, we
coolest
the
fan
gold
in the
standard,
land.
baby.
That's right. It's the coolest fan in the land. It's my man, Cool Cal. What's going on, Cal?
Yeah,
That's how I'm feeling,
what's
baby.
happening?
That's how I'm
Let's
feeling.
go.
I'm feeling strong. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
So, but first off, man, I know we're gonna talk a lot of dogs today. I just want to say, man, I had a great time Saturday. Besides, obviously, the victory that we had. You know, y'all put on a fantastic tailgate as you do every single year. It was beautiful, man. It's always good to see people you haven't seen in a while. It's the first time I met Coach I in person, man. So it was good to meet you. And I ain't even gonna get into the game, man, because I mean the game, like E-Rob said, man. At halftime, I peeked back at my boy, and he was back there a little slumped out. He was a little slumped out. But you deserve that, brother. You deserve that. That's the kind of day
we did
it
a lot in
was.
that first half, man. There was a lot.
And we did a lot.
First half, man.
We did a lot in that first half, man. So just salute, man, to my brothers, man. Y'all put on a great tailgate, man. I'm glad I was a part of it, man. So look forward to the next one.
That's right, man. Next up the bat, man, former wide receiver at UGA in the same class as Coach Kirby Smart. We got my guy Corey Allen. What's good, CA?
There he is.
Hey, you know what? I can't say anything bad about Coach Erik Robinson up there because I have no idea when I bailed out. I have no recollection of the second half. You know, all I know is I was still yelling. I lost my voice. I didn't even make it through the game. I was on my feet the entire time just cheering for those dogs, man. It couldn't have been a better environment. Shout out again to the Tailgate Kings, just like everyone else has already mentioned. But, man, just being around Dog Nation, being amongst brothers, seeing each and every last one of you, and then for my dogs to put on that show, I couldn't ask for a better Saturday.
Yep.
That's right, man. Look like my guy got his technical difficulties together. We talking about the two-sport dude. I know E-Rod played baseball, but talking about two-sport guy. Track and football former wide receiver, my guy Shawty Parker. What's good, Shawty?
No love. We don't get no love.
Man, I'm gonna echo what most of the fellas said, man. It was a great tailgate, great seeing a bunch of guys you ain't seen in a while. Shout out to the tailgate Kings. Once again, they always doing great stuff, man. I really would appreciate a wristband, but we'll talk about that another time.
You've been talking about that wristband.
That's right, man. That's right, man.
JB didn't think that was too funny.
All right, man. Y'all already know, man. We got a special guest already waiting in the wings.
Special
We'll bring
rate for
him
the
on
fellas.
a little bit. Yeah, we'll bring him on a little bit later, man. We're going to talk some start bench cut. Then we'll go over that Georgia, Oregon, man. We're going to give out our flowers to the players, coaches, whoever they want to. Talk about some areas where we could see some improvements going down the stretch. Talk about the SEC East challenges and whatnot. And then give a little brief overview of what we want to see against Samford before we get to the questions. And let's see who's in the house right now. Look like Shelby's always on time, even though she couldn't make it to the tailgate. Shelby is in the house. Dogs on top. That's right, dogs on top, man. And look who early. T. Stroud. What's going on, Travis? Okay, I see you.
What's up?
Okay, here we go.
What's up, fella?
The back line still works.
All right, man. Let's go ahead and get some of y'all backstage, man, and get this start bench cut going. CA is out of this one. So is Shawty Parker, man. All right, start bench cut this week is E-Rob's position, man. So I felt like I needed to have you on, man, and we'll see what the other two think as well. We got Eric Stokes, Tim Jennings, and DeAndre Baker, man. Listen, I ain't gonna make it. I told you I ain't gonna make it easy on you now. So E-Rob, I'm gonna let you start this time, man. I'll let you go last on that safety thing, but I'm gonna let you start this one out, man.
And Coach, I do appreciate your hospitality. Okay. Like I say, every time we do this segment, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. But with that being said, here's where I'm going to start. No, first I'm gonna say this. I got my start and my bench guy are two guys that came in. They weren't really highly recruited, and then they left Georgia highly decorated. The first one, who I'm gonna start, is Mr. Erik Stokes. I think Erik Stokes, with his speed, his size, his agility, I think he just embodies everything you want in the corner, and I think he's about to show out for the Packers. I think he's gonna have probably a Pro Bowl type season this year, so look out for that. I'm gonna have DeAndre Baker because he came in as a 3-star. A lot of people don't even remember that. And he left with the Thorpe Award. The guy made himself into a baller. He got to the NFL and went damn crazy. I don't know what's going on there, but he was a baller at Georgia. Tim Jennings, I mean, what can you say about this guy? I mean, he made plays at Georgia, little undersized, but then hell, he went to the league and made plays in the league. So this guy's a hell of a player. I hate the segment. I hate to cut him. But that's my list, and that's where we at with it.
All right, cool, Cal. What you got on it, man? Who you starting? Who you benching? And who you cutting? All these dudes can start anywhere, but hey, somebody got to sit the bench, and somebody can't make the roster, dog.
I got you. Hey, this is a really tough one. This is a really, really tough one. I'm gonna start DeAndre Baker. I'm gonna go with the Thorpe winner. I think that when you win the top. You know what I'm saying? The top trophy at your position. You're the top guy in the whole country at your position, bar none. I think that puts you in a special category. So I'm going to go with him, number one. I mean, we saw what he did. He shut down the field that year completely. No one could catch anything on that side of the ball. And then I'm going to go with my other guy, man. I'm going to go with Tim Jennings. Might be a little shocking. And I like Tim. Tim was a playmaker. And I think that's what separates him from me. That's what separates him from me over Stokes, is that I just thought that he was a better playmaker in college than what the two guys were, to be honest with you. He had a lot of turnovers. So that's why I'm going to go with them. And then I'm going to go with Stokes. I'm not even going to put him on the bench. I'm going to put him in the nickel. He's still going to be on the field.
Oh, you can't change the rules. Hell no. You can't do that.
You're going to put him in the nickel. You know what I'm saying? So everybody got a spot on my team.
All right, JB. All right, cool. Cal out here putting people in the nickel, man. We was trying to get an extra linebacker on the field, dog. Hey, who you got, JB?
Oh man. So this is a tough one, and for everything that these guys just talked about and these guys just named for each player, I think everything holds true. I'm 100% still in lockstep with my boy Cal on this, though, man. I got to start DeAndre Baker. He was the most dynamic cornerback that I've seen Georgia have in one season outside of the man champ Bailey. That man locked down an entire side of the field, allowed us to do a lot of different things on that defense for that particular year. And I really, really thought that he was going to do some spectacular things in the league. And he's got swept up into some trash, but I'm thinking about UGA days. So if I'm thinking about UGA days, I'm running with DeAndre Baker, the Thorpe Award winner. Tim Jennings will be my second guy on the squad if I'm looking at a second cornerback. That guy made play after play, man. He just was a baller, a ball hawk. And when he played in the league, man, he played a hellacious amount of defensive snaps and had a hell of a career. So I like what he did both at Georgia and in the league. And if I'm also going to be talking about Erik Stokes, man, I thought that he came on a little later.
He did late,
like his at
senior
UGA.
Year was big,
yeah. His senior year was big, but those first 2 years that he started, I think he came on a little later. So he'll come in third for me, but that doesn't diminish his talent and doesn't diminish what he brings to the table. And I think he's actually going to probably have one of the better careers out of the three in the NFL.
I think so too.
Good point.
Good point. That last point was real good, JV. He did come on later than the other two. Tim Jennings, shout out to South Carolina homie from Orangeburg who actually didn't get the call from Mark Richt until the day before signing day, and he showed up and showed out, man. So he was going to South Carolina State because he had no other offers. So Coach Richt. Coach Rick came in with the call. He was like, "I'll be in Athens."
Damn right.
Hey, I know that's right.
South Carolina State, UGA.
Right, that ain't even what I'm talking about.
You know what I'm saying? Your
Hey,
dorm
man.
room gonna be an old hotel. You know what
That's
I'm saying?
right.
I know how to go to South Carolina State.
That's
Hey,
right.
Coach.
That's right. What's up, JV?
Hey, Coach, before we jump out of this segment, man, I got to give one quick shout out, which I didn't get a chance to give at the beginning of the show. I need to give a shout out to the biggest fan in the land, man, Cool Cal. Let me tell you something, man. Cool Cal had this macaroni and cheese
Oh, that's
at the tailgate, bro. Hold on, everybody. Everybody in Bulldog Nation, let me let you know, this might have been the best macaroni and cheese I'd have ever ate, period. I walked halfway across the tailgate, had to turn around, come back just to let this man know that I need a pan of that. Listen, Cal, salute, brother. That was smoking.
Appreciate
And I need
that.
that pan, though.
Coach,
Appreciate that. I got you.
Coach, before we move on, let me add on to what JV just said. A big part of me not making it through the second half had a lot to do with this hand right here and that damn macaroni and cheese. Boy, it laid your boy down, boy, I'm telling you.
Salute, man. Salute, man. I appreciate that, brothers. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate
It was
that.
hella good. Yeah.
That's it, man. Let's give a shout out to some dogs in the chat, man. AP in the building as always. What's good, AP? And we got T Stroud say, when you gonna invite me on? T Stroud, stop acting like we ain't already talked about this, dog. You know, come on now.
There you go. There you go.
We know how you do.
All right,
Out there being messy, man.
Big Rusty.
there you go.
Coach. Oh, what's up?
Big
Bob?
Rest.
What's
Let's
up,
go.
Bob?
All right. Let's see. We got Glenn Ford in the building talking about your position,
Ford.
Glenn Ford. We're gonna have to get you on here so you can do the start bench cut.
Yeah, let's go.
G4, what's happening, man?
Oh man, who else in the chat here? We got a lot of comments. Woo, they coming in. Let's get our guys back in here, man. CA
Shouty,
and Shouty, man. We're gonna go ahead and jump into this Georgia-Oregon recap, man, and we're gonna go around the table, man. Let's give out some flowers first before we talk about what improvements we might have. So we'll start with Shouty, man. Who you giving out the flowers to, man? Coach or player, or what we're doing today?
I think everybody got lost for a minute. I didn't hear it.
Oh, you didn't hear it? You didn't hear the question? You good?
Yeah.
All right. I said, who you giving out your flowers to today? Before we get into the improvements, which player, coach, what you doing today?
Wow, man. You know, like we used to say last year, like I used to say, when you win and everything goes well, I mean, everybody get flowers. It's really hard to, you know, nitpick at what we saw on Saturday. I mean, everything went well, but if I had to give out some flowers to someone, it would be Todd Monken. The way that he called plays, the way he had their defense off balance, even with a guy who was on our previous coaching staff, you would think they would have a lot of familiarity with what we do. I couldn't tell.
Yeah, facts.
When I tell you everything worked, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Stetson Bennett was 9 for 9 on third downs. We didn't punt the ball. 7 drives, 7 scores. And what can you say? So I would give my flowers to Todd Monken in the offense. I really appreciated the artistry of what I saw offense this Saturday.
That's what's
break
up.
it down, Shouty. Break it down.
The word, I like that.
All right, CA, you up the bat, man. Who you giving your flowers to today, man?
Artistry. Who you giving your artistry to?
Exactly. He jumps out with the SAT words. I'm still drinking beer from Saturday, man. What's going on? I can't hate though. You know, he spoke the gospel just then. Todd Monken put on an impressive performance with the play calling, with the play design. He put a lot of guys in position to be successful. So, you know, as I piggyback that sentiment, I'm gonna have to give a lot to Stetson Bennett. We all know what the numbers are at this point as far as 9 for 9 on third down. You know, Walter Camp Player of the Week in the nation, the best we've ever seen out of Stetson Bennett was Saturday against Oregon, because at this point he has matured. This isn't the same offense. This offense can continue to take leaps and bounds because we have a veteran signal caller and we have an offensive coordinator who's been in the building for going on 3 years plus now. So this is an advanced offense for those two reasons. To see that high level of execution, I was extremely pleased with. The second kudos I want to give out to is to the secondary. That defensive secondary was special. Did a lot to minimize any threat Oregon presented, especially with the deep ball, created turnovers. When you look at what we got from Chris Smith, and I was really excited by the cornerback play when you look at Keely Ringo and the other complementary parts we got along with it. So we know the freshman did a great job contributing at safety, but really the secondary and the offense in general is what I want to tip my hat to.
That's what's up, man. E-Rob, how you following that up, man? Who you giving your flowers to?
Man, first off, CA, he said give flowers to one person.
I'm going on in. I ain't got. I'm backstage, baby.
I want to give flowers to no, one person. On a serious note, my flowers gonna go to the dude that I told y'all to look out for, who I think is probably gonna be and I know what I'm saying. I know what I'm saying is a very significant thing. Probably going to be one of our best players on our defense. And that's Malachi Stark as a damn true freshman. I told y'all he's going to start for Georgia way earlier than people might expect. That kid is a absolute baller, and he's going to make plays for us that win ball games. And there you go.
There it is. There it is. Cool Cal, man. Yeah. Who the flowers going to today, man?
Awesome, man. It's simple for me. It's the guy that runs this thing, man. It's Kirby Smart. I'm giving him his flowers because I like the way Kirby has transitioned. He's become a better coach. The development of the guys, the recruitment, it all starts with him. I think that he's just getting it right. He's hitting on all cylinders. Like we said, the offense and Todd Monken, I think that has a lot to do with Kirby understanding, letting things go, letting the team develop, letting Stetson grow, letting Stetson develop. And it's beautiful. Like Shawty said, man, it was just the artistry out there, how we looked, how we were spreading the ball around. It was, man. It was beautiful. I'm sitting back here thinking about the game in my mind and just, how he's getting the ball out to the playmakers. And we just have so many playmakers. It's going to be hard to scheme for. So I'm really excited to see where the team's going to go. I know Kirby's going to keep the guys focused week in and week out. And I'm going to say it right now, guys. I know everyone want to hear this. This team potentially might be better than last year.
Cool Cal with the hot take. All right, JV, how you following that up?
Hey, man, first of all, man, shout out to Marseille Simpson, who's catching the show down in Orlando. He ain't even at the crib, and he watching the show.
Brother. There we go.
But, hey, man, I'm going to give everybody done named everybody. I'm literally sitting here thinking I'm probably gonna drop my flowers on the state troopers who got the team to the because obviously those guys knew something we didn't. Did you guys see those folks coming down that highway? They had to be hitting like 160. Jeez Louise. Put the players in the building, baby. Listen, like everybody said, the flowers need to go to the entire team. The bus driver who knew that every last one of these guys needed to get there because everybody on this squad is special. That guy Malachi Starks, E-Rob, you are 100% right. Shawty, you are 100% right. That guy Stetson Bennett, oh my God. Like, man, everybody looked like they were not sitting on their laurels and resting with the fact that we won a championship last year. They came off the bus, and I keep saying these teams these days, man, and this coaching staff is getting these guys ready to play as soon as they step into the building. There is no time to waste. They have a true urgency about the way that they play. And we look hungry. For one, appreciated the way that they came out. They got me pumped up from the beginning, man, and I'm saluting everybody with some flowers. Just petals. I ain't got enough flowers to get everybody, but everybody get a rose petal.
Well, I'm gonna give my flowers to the guys that block for Stetson, man. Like we knew the tackles was gonna be good. We knew the center was gonna be good. But I'm gonna tell you what, man. Outside of one play, Tate Ratliff being back, man, that made. Listen, he took our line from probably top 10 to probably like definitely top 3 or something, man. That line, like Stetson one time, I swear, man, he might have phoned home one time and had to call somebody. It's like, who you see open on the TV, dog, and I'll throw it to him. You know what I'm saying? So I want to get a shout out to the guys that blocked for Stetson. And speaking of Stetson, man, Stetson started out as a walk-on, and now he's leading us to the promised land. And in the tradition of walk-ons, our special guest, man, came in 1998 with 25 other walk-ons. And then out of those 25, only 4 of them lasted to get a scholarship, and he was one of them. Played wide receiver from 98 to 2002. We talking about Kirby Towns. What's going on, Kirby?
What's up, brother?
Welcome.
Happy to be here.
Good to see you, brother.
So Kirby, you was back in the back. So I know we talked a little bit before the show. So the start bench cut, where you at with it? You was a wide receiver. Watch. I'm
gonna go quick because I think this is a great segment for these 3 guys because not one of these guys, Tim Jennings wasn't around when stars were around, but not one of these 3 guys would have been more than a 3-star. Stokes was a 3-star, Baker was a 3-star, and they both started in the championship game.
Thanks.
But I'm going to start just based off of college. I'm going to start DeAndre Baker. He was the Ford winner. He was a first-team All-American, played the national championship game, and here's the stat. He never gave up 1 touchdown reception in his entire career at Georgia. Not one.
Facts.
Oh, wow.
I'll
check it.
Facts.
That's
I'm
the
going
stat
to
that matters the
check
most.
that, man.
Not one. They talked about it every game.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going, and I loved watching Stokes play, but I'm going Tim Jennings. He was my teammate in 02, and he was starting as a freshman. He was exactly what they said, the last guy signed in that class. He walked in the day we started fall camp, and he didn't even have a locker nowhere to go. He was starting by the end of the season.
Wow.
That's right.
We had some good corners on the team in 02.
Wow.
We played in the championship and won it too. And then Stokes was a great player. He held it down the whole time he was there. He played over Tyson Campbell. I don't know if y'all remember that when Baker was on the side.
Yeah.
Tyson Campbell was much higher recruited, a 5-star.
Yeah.
And Stokes played over him most of that year. And then, of course, the 2 of them started later together. So they were great together. But I like this one because these guys were great. I mean, who was on the other side of the field? Champ? Because
That's awesome.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So who you giving your flowers to, Kirby?
It's hard. I mean, like Jacob said,
We stole all of it.
Just give a pedal to everybody. But I don't know how to. I mean, Monken, it has to be 7 drives, 7 touchdowns.
Yeah.
They gave up after the 3rd drive. I was at the game. They looked like whipped puppies after the 3rd drive in the first quarter, and we're all jumping up and down 21-0. I lost my voice a little bit, and I didn't even yell the last 3 quarters. And, I mean,
well, at least
7 drives, 7 touchdowns. How can you not say the offensive coordinator? And yes, every single one of you last week on this show picked. Oh no, I think Corey picked them to get 9 points, but everybody else went with like 17 or 18 points, and they gave up 3. So defense,
they did.
How do you not? Without Dan Lanning, we still only gave up 3 to the number 11 team.
That's facts, man.
Still.
Yeah. Bo Nix, we trying to think of some way to remember Bo Nix, man. He's one of our favorite dogs.
Hey, Bo Nix can come back another year.
Hey, exactly.
Like we recruited him.
That's right. Hey.
One thing I wanted to mention about Stetson too, that's a very big, contrast to last year. We're having a veteran signal caller coming back. This is the first game. This guy he threw the ball 31 times.
31 times, yep.
He only did that one time last year. That was in the Alabama loss. And he doing it the first game this year. So I think that lets you know how much progression he has made as a signal caller and how familiar he feels with the offense.
That's right, man.
Even the announcers were shocked.
He ran to the sideline and just threw it away smartly. He threw it away. So 2 of his
those are my favorite plays right there.
So many.
Those are my favorite plays right there. Just throw the ball
take
away.
Those 2
We're
out,
good.
and he's 90% passing.
Yep,
Yeah,
right.
Throw
That's right.
Throw it away.
Yeah.
Throw it away though when it's not there.
I think the one thing most in the nation did not anticipate was the potential for Stetson Bennett to get better. I mean, we saw what he was. We all thought we knew the ceiling. If that ceiling is not what we thought, then everything changes. And what we saw on Saturday, that's not the Stetson Bennett of 2021. So, if he want to raise the bar, raise it, baby. We're going to see where you go with it.
That's right.
Offensive player of the week.
Like a 25-year-old quarterback. I mean, he really playing like a 6-year senior. I mean, he playing like he could know like the back and forth of his hand. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yep. And Marseille says, shout out to Coach B-Mac because those wide receivers was out there blocking. Bruh, A.D. Mitchell was manhandling some dude.
He
had me reliving old memories in the back of that end zone. Just had that man posted up.
Kirby, did you block like that when it was time to? Did you mix it up like that?
Yeah, they wanted me blocking like that on scout team.
Somebody.
When I did block like that, I would get in trouble. When I would cut back and knock Boss Bailey down, they'd repeat it. Dustin Luck as hard as you can at my face.
Run right through your
Repeat it. Joe Kines.
All right. So what we got to do now, man? I know we played a hell of a game, man. But like Kirby said, man, Kirby actually he was happy with the defense, but he wasn't overall pleased. He said there was still some areas we could work on. So we're gonna take some time and talk about some things we might have noticed that we could do better. I'm gonna start out with CA, man. What did you see that we might be able to do better?
Just consistency in our run defense. I felt like there were a few times where Oregon had a couple of opportunities, and there weren't very many. So again, we're nitpicking, but if the run defense can always maintain that solid front, we never want to see more than 30 to 40 yards, 50 yards rushing. I know again I'm being nitpicky, but maintaining that as far as holding it down in the trenches on the defensive side of the ball. That's the one thing I want to make sure that we do every game, week in and week out, because it demoralizes the team and it really shortens the game. So that's the only thing that I'm going to really take a closer look at. How can we continue to get better on run defense with that front seven continuing to gel, especially at my linebacker position?
That's what I'm with you on that, and I think some of that will be more reps. But like you said, if we can give up just a little bit less than we did Saturday, it's like we're trying to aim for the perfect game. But why not? You know what I'm saying, Kirby? What you saw out there that you could see us do a little bit better?
This is going to sound silly, but it's something after my heart. And I actually was talking to the two I'm in here with right now at the scrimmage. I sat with Shawty and with Corey at the scrimmage, and we were talking about at the end of games when we're blowing people out. Now, this was the number 11 team, and we were out there to show what we could do. Like I said, 7 drives, 7 touchdowns. The game was over after the first drive because we gave up 3 points. But they played hard all night. We kept our starters in for a long time, which is fine. It's the first game. They're number 11. You never know what could happen. They could blow it up. Bo Nix didn't play well against Georgia, but he's a playmaker. So things could have happened. But Corey said something the other day about the transfer portal and about guys leaving. Listen, our team is stacked. There's 100 4- and 5-star guys on there. Way more 5-stars than anybody but Bama. And so we are stacked. It's crazy. But when at the end of the game, I'm talking about the 4- and 5-stars, not the walk-ons, not the guys who've been there forever. The young guys, when they come in the game, we just kind of run the ball. We run the clock out. We take the win and we go home. That's fine. It's nice to take the win, but people would stay in the stands and the guys would stay on the team and not leave if you let them run the offense. If you let them run the defense the way you were doing it in the first quarter, in the fourth quarter. I realize the clock stops when there's an incompletion. We get it. But let them run. Let them play. Let receivers do something besides block for 3 seconds and drive back to the huddle.
I'm definitely with that.
It was a blowout. What are you going to say? We didn't do anything wrong. We had one punt, 53 yards. It was nice.
Yeah. JV, what you saw out there, man, that you might think we could just improve on just a little bit?
Well, I think the one thing I want to call out, man, which I really don't think is going to be an issue, is really nothing that we would need to improve on outside of just that man-to-man winning battle, was the D-line. Our D-line, we didn't have a lot of blitzes. We didn't bring the 8-gap blitz. We didn't bring a lot of guys on the outside. We were really going 4-on-5, and they were still handling their business. I just want to see some guys win one-on-one other than 88, who's the number one and going to be the number one defensive tackle taken in the league in the draft. Because we didn't blitz and we know that we can bring that pressure and guys when they're one-on-one, like a true one-on-one matchup, they can win. I just wanted to see somebody win besides him on a kind of consistent basis, just to kind of even out the field and make guys game plan against some of the other people on the defense later on or going forward during the season. But that's all I could really pinpoint. I mean, we played a spectacular game. It was phenomenal.
Now, a question to that: do you think some of that lack of blitzing came because we were confident that we could hold them at the point of attack and our secondary so good?
100%.
Okay.
We knew we didn't have to do anything special. I just wanted to. If I got a nitpick, because that's what we're doing right here.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to talk about. I wanted to see my 4 guys beat their 5 guys more consistently and get into the backfield and create pressure without us having to blitz an additional person to create that one-on-one matchup across the board. Somebody has to win that 1-on-2 matchup, or when that one guy's getting double teamed, somebody needs to go ahead and win that 1-on-1 matchup. But outside of that, man, we looked so phenomenal. I was actually amazed. I was just amazed.
Shawty, what you got on it, man? What you saw? I know you good at looking at details that people might miss, man. What can we do a little bit better next time?
Well, I actually was going to take the point that JV took, so I kind of agree with you 100%. That was one of the things I was going to say. For me, I always have a backup plan, so I'm going to actually go with the offensive line because they were great in pass protection. But at the point of attack in the run game, me personally, I didn't see the dominance that I really wanted to see. So I really think our offensive line has to be a little bit more physical at the point of attack in the run game. The pass game was awesome. He could sit back there and cook a meal and go through all his progressions and all that. When it came to the run game, I never really seen guys through the 1 and say 7 gap really explode holes. We got on the perimeter because we had good perimeter blocking with the receivers. But just going through the 1 to 7 gaps, we never really busted in the run play. So that means we wasn't very physical at the point of attack. So I want to see our offensive line get a little bit more physical.
Okay, that's a good point. I saw the exact same thing. Cool Cal, what you thinking, man? I know it's kind of hard, man, when you beat somebody 49-3, but hey, that's what we here for, man.
Man, I ain't really got no. Y'all kind of hit it on the head. Some of the small detail. I would have probably said the offensive line as well, just be a little bit stronger at the point of attack. I feel like still our backs maybe getting hit, kind of early, maybe like at the line of scrimmage, a yard, and having to break tackles fairly quickly. But other than that, maybe on the other side of the ball, I would like to see us wrap up a little bit better. There were a few plays. I remember Jalen Carter just completely destroyed a guard on one play. I think it was a 3rd or 4th down play. Killed the guard. He hit the back, but didn't wrap him up for that loss. And I think that Oregon got a first down on that play, sustained the drive. So I think that we have to shore that up. I remember there was another linebacker. I think it was Mondin. He got in on one play, blew the back up, but didn't wrap up. So I like to see us wrap up a little bit better because those are things that can come back, obviously, and bite us in those big games by making those plays.
That's what's up. That's what's up. All right, Kirby. You up the bat, man. What could we have done a little bit better?
We had a couple of holding penalties I didn't like. Oscar Delp is going to be a baller. We all know that. He's going to be a star. But he played a lot in the second half, and he had probably 3 or 4 holdings. He only got called once. I think they probably complained 3 or 4 times. And they're like, hey, the big guy, he's just wrapping everybody up. So we just need to teach him to block. Listen, he's in the same room as Big O. And if Darnell Washington didn't want to catch the ball anymore, he could be a first-round offensive tackle.
Facts.
He can block. He can block. Brock's going to get his. We already know that too, but he flashed in the first quarter. I never saw him again.
I think they were rolling double coverage according to Dan Lanning. According to Dan Lanning, they were covering like
as
that.
Well, they should have.
As well they should, yep.
As well they should, but he can teach Delp something because when Kendall Milton ran around the end, Brock took his guy to the second row of the stands.
Yes, he did.
And so
yes, he did.
Delp just watches that. It was just little things. He's 18 years old. He held him the first game of the season. He'll be all right. But just little penalties. I didn't like that penalty being called when Lassiter slammed the guy. Who cares? He's a corner. He picked somebody up.
Yeah. E-Rob, I know it's hard, dog. Anything else we might have missed?
I mean, these guys are pretty much hit on everything. I guess I'll say this. Since we was talking about the state troopers, I think they could do a better job of kind of clearing things out after the game so Kirby can get to the locker room a little quicker. So we can get on back to Athens. That's about it. I mean, what else can I say here?
That's right. All right, CA, you last up the bat, man. Anything coaching-wise, special team-wise that we might have missed that we might could improve on?
No, man. I want to say first and foremost, I appreciate you letting me go twice because this is my second time in the segment. But I tell you what,
hey, you was backstage early, man. I'm trying to make up for it.
You did get brought me back, baby. I'm in the building. No, nothing extra, man. I was really pleased with what the coaches put on the table. Fans showed up. Police knocked everybody out of the way. We won 49-3. I really, would struggle to complain right now.
That's what's up, man. Let's check the comments, man. See what we got here.
Hey, man.
Go ahead, JB.
I was gonna say, Glenn Ford, man, you really hit the nail on the head the way that Kirby is preparing these guys, and they practice. When we have gone to practice, they have no downtime. They practice fast, they practice physical, they practice intentional every single moment they're at practice, and he's calling them out in the moment. Loudspeaker.
The megaphone.
So, hey, shout out to Glenn Ford for that perspective because you 100% right, my guy.
Appreciate that, Ford.
I saw a segment, somebody's talking about Kirby and all the guys we just talked about on the roster, all 4 and 5 stars. There's no complacency on this roster because if you take 5 plays off, there's somebody 5 stars.
You can see the dude behind you. You can see him behind you.
And he's ready to play. I mean, it's nuts. They don't take anything off. These guys.
That's the best motivation in the world.
Say that.
That's the best motivation in the world.
That's what college football is supposed to have always been based on.
You're right.
Competition. I said, and I like to say in the past, it was a lot more had to do with politics. Who you knew, what stars you had.
That's why we want to know national championship. That's why we want to win.
Player is going to play.
Exactly. Facts. So let's see. Bernard Allen said the offense as a whole has a different dynamic that I've never seen before. It seems like was up tempo the whole game, mixing up plays and running a whole lot of different formations. That's right. Like Shawty said earlier, man. Hey, man, Ty Munkin called a beautiful game, man. I told somebody, I said Kirby is officially out of the offensive room. He does not care about that at all. He know Ty Munkin got that thing under wraps, man. Yep. Listen,
and quietly, and he got Bobo in there tucked away.
Yeah,
in case of emergency. So.
hey, CA, to that point, real quick, guys. I know that everybody keeps bringing up losing Dan Lanning on defense, and I hear you that. Let me tell you something. What we got, like Coach Muschamp, he wasn't the greatest head coach, but as a defensive coordinator, he's one of the better defensive minds in college, bar none. So we didn't. I don't even feel like we didn't lose. We didn't go back at all. You know what I'm saying? And I think the guy Schumann is up and coming. One of the he's a bright star. He's going to be a head coach really soon. So I mean, defensively, in terms of our coaching, it's A1. Even with Lanning, it's A1. It can't get any better. So there we go.
That's right. Coach Beadle said, great perspective on the point of attack with the defense and offensive lines needing to be a little bit more physical and oppose their will. So
yep.
You're right, Rusty.
Yeah,
you're right, Coach.
Game 1, like you say, you definitely don't want to hit your peak game 1. You know what I'm saying? I like to think that we got some ways to go, so we'll be playing the absolute best football when we doing those 3 games, like Shawty say, man, those 3 games at the end of the season. You know what I'm saying? All right, people in the comments, man, if y'all got any questions for anybody in the panel, let's go ahead and get them in there now. I did see somebody say where Erik Gilbert, he actually played in the 4th quarter. And listen, let me give some flowers to Erik Gilbert. Like, as a player of his caliber, you could pout or whatever it is and not want to be all enjoyous for the team. But that dude got out there and laid a block on the last touchdown. And then he was one of the first people that wanted the little helmet at the celebration of the game. So he was definitely engaged, man. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Erik Gilbert. I think as the season goes on, they'll try to work him in, man, and see what's going on. So Priest is in the building. Okay, he said he's watching the game. PP.
Man, the comments on fire, baby.
Yeah, they in here, man. Shout out to the dogs in the chat, man. We out here. So, hey, spending time with the grandkids, eating good, watching the dogs beat up on the ducks, man. Listen, man.
Don't get no better.
Listen, that bird tastes good Saturday, man.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did.
Wait a minute. I got to give a shout out to the Lux, man. They came with a plethora of food. You know, they had a whole team. Rarely do you see all three Lucky brothers in one place one time, if you ask me. So, you know, that barbecue they brought to the table, I want to acknowledge that first and foremost. That brisket was on fire. So we're going to have to run that back.
Shout out to Mike on that.
Shelby, now you know Stet gonna play them first 3 drives.
Carson Beck.
I think Carson Beck, he gonna get a lot of PT Saturday. I don't think he's gonna start though.
No.
I know you just. Thanks for helping us out, Shelby. I know you was just trying to come up with something.
Hey, Coach. In the first half, I kept a tally. We ran 12 personnel 70 to 75%, and 11 personnel only 25%. So we were kind of right with how you get out of 12 personnel, my friend.
There we go.
Yep.
But that was only in the first half. Second half, we ran more 11 personnel.
Shout out to Chicken Biscuits. You say you think some of the younger quarterbacks get some playing time? Yeah, I think Stetson is probably going to play the first quarter and a half. Carson will play into the third quarter, and then I think the other two will play the rest of the time. So I don't even think Carson gonna play that long, to be honest with you.
Man, we got Samford. It's a celebration.
Yeah. All right, we got Bronson Sweat up in the building. He says, "Great seeing you all." What's going on, Bronson?
Great to see you. Hey, Bernard, real quick, man. Bernard Allen, one of my fishing homies, man, and he love the dogs. Let me tell you something, Bernard. If you just not tuning in to the show, I'm gonna repeat this one more time. And I think it needs to be repeated because you ain't heard me say it.
Oh, Lord. Hold on, JB. Hold on, so everybody can
highlight it.
Hey, check it out. There is not another more gifted room in the entire country than the Dogs tight end room. I don't give a damn if we talking about the linebackers from the U. I don't care. We're talking about the quarterback room in Alabama. There is not another more talented room in the country. And to Eric Gilbert's credit, he has to know that. Delp has to know that. Bowers has to know that. And Big O has to know that. So these guys know it's one ball, but all of these guys are going to be playing in the league. So they are on board. That's what I see.
That's right. That's right. All right.
It's also the hardest position to play. You got to block.
It is. You got to jump over. You got to be an athlete.
Oh man, don't say that,
Kirby. Corey Allen couldn't block defensive ends.
Hey man, you got to be an athlete.
Hey, T Small in the building, man. He say JB Pride that tight end. Hey, he gonna let you know it every time.
T Small.
T Small, get on the show, man.
I'm preaching the truth. I'm just preaching the truth.
T Small, get on the show, man.
You come on the show, man. What's
Come
up?
on, T Small. We're gonna put the pressure on you on national TV, dog. All right, Shawty, it's time for your question, man. You gotta ask Kirby the question, man.
Okay, so here we go, Kirby. I asked all the guests the same question. So this is what I want to know. When you got to Georgia, granted you was a walk-on, it doesn't matter. When you got to Georgia, who was the first player that made you just say, hey, man, wow, I got to get my shit together. I got to get in the weight room. I got to get in this playbook. I got to start running. No matter what it is, I got to get better. What player impressed you to make yourself improve?
It's amazing that Tony Small just jumped into the chat because I haven't seen him in 15 years maybe. When I got there, Tony Small and I weren't that different in height. I'm right around 6'3". He's a tall guy. But he was a grown-ass man. He was a big dude. And I am now about 220, 225. I've gotten to be a man, but I was probably 170 when I walked in the door there. Maybe 175. Your feet, you had the fastest feet I'd ever seen in my entire life. Yeah, you ran a 4.26. You're fast. We know that. But just the agility of the feet. And Michael Greer's hands. I never saw anybody who catch 11 out of 10 balls. So Tony Smalls, just because I was in the receiver room with y'all. Now, Champ Bailey was out there. He made everybody say, I need to get my shit together. But Tony Small was a prototypical NFL wide receiver standing out there with us. You had the quickest feet and had the quickest routes I'd ever seen, and Michael Greer never dropped a pass. So it was in 98 when I first got there. That's what I saw out there. And Champ was on the other side of the field when I was running scout team, and it was a joke.
Shout out to T Small class of 95. Get on the show, man.
Is Shawty paying all these guests to come on with all this?
No, but we're all receivers.
The truth hurts, baby.
What's going on, man? Damn, man, how much you paying these folks, man?
Did Darren say the same thing?
I asked the same question. Boy, I asked everybody the same question. Hey,
that's what's
up. Well, the thing is, when you get out there and you see everybody, every single one of us was teammates with him. When you see him, he knows this. He wasn't physically imposing, but when you saw him run, you're like, well, I know why he's here immediately.
Exactly.
For sure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
For sure. All right,
I'm
Kirby,
talking about run routes, not just speed. Run routes, not just speed.
Kirby, let me ask my standard question real quick, if you don't mind, Coach. Let me jump in here. All right, so 41 years, the Dogs. My boy Ringo runs the ball. He scores on the interception. We know for sure we're going to win. 41 years. Where were you, and what was your reaction?
So I had a chance to go to the game. I didn't go. I had to work, and I promised, and I stayed home and watched it with my wife. Okay. Just the two of us. Kids were in bed. It was an 8 o'clock kickoff on a Monday night. So I was in that living room right over there. And I mean, when A.D. Mitchell caught the go-ahead touchdown, it was 18-13 in the fourth quarter. I was like, we're going to win. We're going to win. We're not letting them back in this. They haven't.
You were sure then? You were sure then?
I was pretty sure. And then Brock scored, and I was like, well, damn, it's over. And then when Keely did that, of course, what did every single one of y'all do? Get down, get down, get down. Go, go, go. And he took off running. And she could.
I was about to say, I was saying, go, go.
Yeah, go. I mean, if you look at Kirby Smart's going, get down, get down.
Yeah.
Go. I mean, exactly. So I had tears in my eyes, and for some reason, I got like choked up and almost like threw up. I was like gagging. I was so. I didn't know what she's upstairs laughing at me right now. I did. I was crying, gagging, and laughing. Everything is. Listen, I was 9 months old. I was 9 months old the last time Georgia won a national championship, and I was 41 years and 9 months old for this one. So it was my entire lifetime. It was my entire
lifetime. That's what's
lifetime.
up, man.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
Wow. So that's what happened.
Glenn Ford getting in with who made him realize he was in college at Georgia and getting together. It was Bryce Hunter. He was the ultimate teammate, held everybody account. Rip to be Hunter, man.
Yeah, man.
Shout out.
Salute. Yeah, man.
All right, we got CA. We got CA back up.
Bryce Hunter was a technician running them routes.
All day
big
long.
Dude, man. Woo.
He had all
Shout out
Glenn.
Yeah.
Big body.
Show. Big body, yes.
All right, anybody else got a question for Kirby, man? I think. Hey man, that's what happened, man. After the Dogs just beat up on somebody, that we just left speechless. You know what I'm saying? That's.
To be honest with you, man, I'm still tired from celebrating. Real quick. But I do want to show y'all this real quick, Coach. I just want to show this real quick, man. I saw this in Kroger the other day, some national championship coach that I saw. Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna keep these. I got them out now.
Kirby got some too.
There we go.
He got the 1980. He got the original.
41-year-old. You got the new one. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. That's what's up, man. That's nice.
I know that thing flat.
All right, just real quick, man.
I want to shout out Kirby.
Go ahead, CA.
Coach, I just wanted to shout Kirby out for coming on, man. We really appreciate you. A lot of the guys that played with us that might not know, Kirby is big time legacy at the University of Georgia. Father and grandfather put in all kind of work for the state and for the university. So, that legacy lives strong. Spec Towns, that's just the beginning. And if you ran any of those laps on that track, you understand how that heat eats you up. But again, Kirby, shout out to you and the family for your contribution, not only to Georgia football, but to the state, man. We really appreciate you coming on, and I've enjoyed that conversation, brother.
Thank you, Corey. I love
Absolutely.
being here. I'm glad I saw y'all. It was a good time. Corey's the only one here I didn't play with. Well, E-Rob either, but Corey was back on campus a lot, and we played the same position, so we got to be buddies. Thad was my big little brother when he was in the room. It was awesome. JV and Randy McMichael took me under their wing and let me know that it was cool to be me. And so,
that's what's up.
You got that black boy, white boy swag, man. You know we love you.
Hey, Pete game. I was just about to get to. Hey, listen. Kirby has the most extensive shoot game day shoot game of anybody I've ever seen, man. Kirby, you keep bringing the heat every single year, and you keep all your shit
prepared. Look at him, dope.
So,
hey,
I myself this year.
You ain't got to get ready if you stay ready.
Hey, I need to pay out them at 14 though, for real though.
That's dope right there, man.
As far as this weekend comes, man, I think we've already kind of touched on some things we want to see. We want to see more physicality. Some physicality in the JV. We gonna shout her out. Calm down. I can see the comments.
She would give me the business. She said she loved the show when I talked to her at the tailgate this weekend. She said she absolutely loved it.
Yeah, we appreciate you. We appreciate you. We appreciate you. We appreciate all the dogs in the chat, man. But sure, we just want to see a little physicality in the run game, like Shawty was pointing out, man. Hopefully, like CA might be froze one more time. Oh, he got to put some more quarters in there, like that.
Feed them hamsters, man. Feed them hamsters.
And like some of the guys, like some of the people asked in the chat, maybe get to see some of the younger guys, and like Kirby alluded to, man, like let them actually run the offense. I think they did a decent job when Carson Beck first got in, but let them get a lot of snaps, man. Because if they're getting a lot of snaps, then maybe they're not thinking about that transfer portal. Because I can tell you right now, listen, as long as the transfer portal don't eat us up, dog, it's gonna be hard to beat them dogs in the next couple of years, dog. So go ahead, JB. Yeah.
They had made a comment during the game about the transfer portal.
Yeah,
Georgia has one guy.
No, they was wrong. They was wrong, JB.
They was wrong?
We didn't take no transfers this year.
Okay, that make it even better. That make it even better. Understand this.
Yeah.
We have zero guys on our squad out of the transfer portal.
Right.
Alabama has what? 8+?
Yeah, they took a good bit.
Oregon had 21 out of the transfer portal. This tells me that we are absolutely breeding from within. We are bringing in the guys that we want. We are playing the guys that we need, and we are sending the guys to the league that we develop. And guys are going to continue to see this, regardless if you start this year or next year. We are going to continue to have these kind of lineups, these kind of teams. Man, this is amazing what Kirby is over there doing with these recruits.
That is. Shout out to Kirby, man. I think one of y'all gave Kirby the flowers earlier, man. Like how he's preparing them. Plus, like you say, JV, developing them. It's like these dudes that's what I actually wanted to see against Oregon. I felt like we would win, and you're right, Kirby. I said it was going to be like 34-17, but I just like the way that it mentally, man. They just like from the kickoff, like the first kickoff, man. I think it was Rosemary Jackson just punished the dude on like the 15-yard line. I was like, these dudes out here, like we had the CFP already. I was like, that's right. Hey, business trip, man. Oregon looked real good, but Kirby said we here for business, man. So that's what's up. Marseille said that's what happens when you're national champs. That's right, dog. We don't need no transfer portal right now. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying we keep. What's up?
I want to say one thing too, guys, and it's really for any former player. Other than playing, this is the best time to be coming back to UGA. We have a former player, a former teammate. Our head coach is giving us this access, man. I don't know what your gripes have been in the past. Get over it, man. Come live in this moment. Enjoy this success that we have. So if you got tickets to games, you get invites to lunches, tailgate, show up and show out with us, man. It's always good fellowship. I don't care what happened in the past. This is the best time to be dealing back with UGA than other when you was playing.
So to add on to that,
say it. You say it, brother.
Yep. The Samford game is the Letterman reunion tailgate before at the Oconee Hill Cemetery. Everybody come to it.
Yep.
Also, if you haven't, Sally Hogbook, on the Letterman's thing, I think you get like 2 free tickets for being a Letterman just to the Samford game. So show up, because I'm tired of it being, pardon me for saying this, tired of it being just a bunch of old white dudes there. I want my teammates there. They're honoring everybody. What happens? And so our 0-2 SEC championship game the team is getting honored at halftime of the game for being 20 years ago. Damn, 20 years ago. But we're trying to get more than just 10 people to stand out there and wave. You know what I mean? Like, it would be nice because everybody's retired now. Ben Watson and Thomas Davis retired. That means everybody on our team is retired now. So
I know, right? They played forever.
We need to get people there.
That's what's up. Anybody else? Anybody else got any thoughts or anything before we get up out of here?
Real quick, Coach. Man, I just want to add on to what Thad said. Dude, it seemed like you was in my head. I just want to say this to Dog Nation. This is the best time. This is the best it's going to ever get. Just live in this moment. Enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? Don't let whatever happen go. Don't worry about the future. Live in this moment. It's just great to be a dog. It's great to be a Georgia Bulldog, baby. That's all I'm
Okay. What up, champs? Right. What up, champ? So,
hey, too. I'm gonna tell y'all what. If they were to put a definition of a cover 2 corner in the dictionary, it would be Tim Wansley.
Yeah,
I think y'all was listening on Wansley. Tim Wansley had the fastest burst. He wasn't fast, but he had the fastest burst in any other player I don't ever play with other than Champ.
He might have been the strongest pound-for-pound player any of us ever played with. He weighed 185 and benched 420.
Hey.
Come on.
Hey. Damn.
Appreciate Dogs on top. Ring the bell one more time. That's what I'm talking about.
Run it back.
Let's go.
We got CA back.
What's up, man?
That's right. CA, you got anything else before we get up out of here, man?
Hey, man, I just wanted to say I appreciate all y'all, man. I'm looking forward to this Saturday because I will be in Athens for the event. So any of the dogs available to make the trip, make sure you hit me up, man, because the first round is on you.
Well, I'm like, well, what are we going to get?
Well, that's what's up, man. We're gonna wrap up another good show. If y'all in Athens this weekend, hit up the Dogs. I will be in Austin at the Bama Texas game, checking out our future. Listen, I'm doing some scouting. I'm doing some scouting early. I'm doing some scouting
Texas.
early, man. Yeah, okay. Man. So
hey, the show doing good. We can afford them tickets. We doing good.
Hey, I'm like listen, I'm like Eddie Murphy in life. I got capital connections, man. I got a Bama YouTuber. Hey, man, the YouTube life is like that. So who knows?
Hey, that's what's up, man.
Hey, that's how. Hey, man, I'll report back on what they actually look like.
You're gonna have to jump in there, Kirby.
Thank you all so much for having me tonight. I appreciate it. I love watching the show. I love all y'all. It's fun to be with you. Remember, Kirby Smart's dad, the original Coach Smart, played at Samford. So we're playing his dad's alma mater this weekend. And all of us were teammates with Kirby. There will be no mercy on Daddy's team. Don't worry.
There we go.
Facts, man. Shout out to all the dogs in the chat.
On the show.
Yep. Shout out to Kirby for taking our time to come chop it up with us, man. He's always in the chat when he's not on the video with us.
I love it.
To all the dogs out there that Shawty and E-Rod was talking to, man. Also, stop by inside the locker room. T-Small, get in here and talk it up with the dogs, man.
Travis Stroud,
Glenn. It ain't for nothing, baby.
That's right, man. If you can't do nothing, you can hit up. Let's get out of here before we have to jump on some more bird in here today.
They talking crazy?
Yeah, shout out to the dogs in the chat, man. Shout out to JV, E-Rob, Cool Cal, Thad, CA, and Kirby Towns, man. It's Coach out of Fan Addict inside the locker room presented by Tailgate Kings. We out. Go Dogs.
Go Dogs.
Go Dogs.